Can you read me the address?
All right. Well, hello. It's Sunday afternoon. It's the Myki Laughs Show, and I'm live. All right. The link that I sent you, Steve, if you just click on that link now, that should bring you into my...
I've gotten a couple different links from you. I can only find one of them.
All right. So let me just email you the correct one right this minute. Hold 1 second. All right. Hold on.
Oh, there we are. Wait, I think I'm in.
You're in?
You hear me? I see you.
All right. Well, hold on. Let me hang up from the phone here now, and then I could see. I'm going to drop the link in the chat. All right. Well, hold on. Let me hang up from the phone here now, and then I could see. I'm going to drop the link in the chat.
I don't know what that means.
All right. Now, when you come to my channel, you're going to see live chat. You have to enter the chat. When you come to my channel, you're going to see live chat. You have to enter the chat.
I don't know how to do that. I see you on the screen. I hear us talking.
All right, no, but I have to put the phone down now because I am on the phone. Let's see if I could get you talking through the computer. I'm going to hang up now.
Okay. Bye.
Oh, all right. Let's see if we could sort him out this way. All right. Hi, guys. It's Myki, and I'm waiting for my guest. I was trying to lead him this minute. He's seeming to have a little bit of difficulty. Just give me 1 or 2 moments. If you have a friend someplace that you could tell that we're going to have Dr. Steve Wilson this afternoon, please do so. Let me just get him sorted out. What did he not do? Bear with me, guys. Just bear with me 1 quick second. This is what he needs to have. I'm not seeing him. Hi, guys. Welcome, Michelle. Welcome, Mariama. Oh, my goodness. I'm not quite sure how to guide Steve because I don't see him in the chat. All right, let me just try to call him again. I'm still not seeing him. All right, here's what you do. Do you have your computer open? All right, then just go to YouTube, type YouTube in the URL. What? All right, do you see the chat then? Are you seeing the other people in the chat? Type something in the chat so that I can see that you are there. Write something in the chat. You have to click on live chat and then you enter the chat and then you'll see the other people who are there waiting on you. What are you seeing now? My goodness. Do you have a cell phone? All right. Because he could talk to me from the cell phone. Do you want me to just send you the link again to the cell phone? You click right on the link right there, because I'm not quite sure why we're not having you. No, hold. Let's just try to work it out. It's not going to work. All right. So let me try to guide you again. Let me try to guide you again. The link that you have, the link that I sent you with you see my face. Once you click on that link, that takes you to my channel. Please. Bear with me, guys. I'm trying to guide my guest. Right. But if you can see the chat, then you need to type something in the chat so that I can see that you're there. All right. And you have a Gmail account. Right. So you're right. 6 million in the house. We thank you so very much for coming. Dr. Wilson is getting set up. Please don't go anywhere. But he's at the right place. He just needs his Google password. All right, so take your time. I'm right here. In the meantime, guys, how are you this evening? I want to welcome you all to my stream. I want to welcome Tyrone Morgan. I welcome Jill in the kitchen. Thank you so much for coming, Sam. It's great to see you all. We are going to have a fantastic time this afternoon. We have lined up in the back Dr. Steve Wilson. I am super excited because I don't know, you seem all to realize that I am just all about laughter. And I have met somebody who is like a laughter guru. So I am beyond myself with excitement. Dr. Wilson is calling in from Ohio. He is a psychologist. He's a self-proclaimed joyologist. He's an author. He is CHEERMAN of the BORED. He's a master of mirth, and he is the co-founder of World Laughter Tours. Just give him a couple of minutes. He will be right here because I want to tell you that there is so much to laughter, and who is better to tell us this afternoon than our Dr. Steve Wilson. All right, I'm going to suggest that you greet each other in the chat. In the meanwhile, write down one thing that you can be grateful for, and then just let's keep the chat going until Dr. Wilson gets here. Okay, then he's there. All righty then. Now see Dr. All right, so I'm going to hang up. All right, so the link is there, Dr. Wilson. If you just click on that link, and that will bring you to the stream. Click on the link that I dropped. It started with https://StreamYard. If you click on that link, then I should see you and I should bring you up to the podium. Is everybody hearing me okay? There you go. There you go. We did it. All right, hold on. I'm not hearing you. I'm not hearing you. You need to turn your mic on. I'm not hearing you. One more step and we're almost there. Guys, are you hearing me? Pam, one last step. We just need to hear him now. He seems to be muted. What would make 9 million in the house? I thank you so very much. Welcome, Garth. Welcome, Nick. Oh my goodness, Trev Essence. Welcome, welcome, guys. It's great to have you. I just can't figure out what is making his sound quiet. Let me make sure that it's not me. No, because my thing is my volume is all the way up. 12 million in the house. I want to thank you so much for coming. Guys, I know you're waiting for the joyologist to start. Just give me a little minute. I can't understand why his microphone is muted. I don't understand. I don't know if I could. He's on mute. That's what I'm trying to tell him. He's on mute. He just needs to unmute. It doesn't seem as though he understands how to unmute it. Can't hear you at all. Still can't hear you. Are you hearing me? Well, but I can't hear you. So it is on your end. This is something that you need to unmute. Have you closed out of the window?
Testing 1, 2.
I am hearing you. There we go. Oh my goodness. Well, let me just say it again. Dr. Wilson. Oh my goodness. All right, now you have to close the window that you entered from.
Too many people are talking at the same time.
That you entered from.
Too many people are talking at the same time.
That you entered from. Dr. Wilson, you will have to close the window that you entered from to take out the noise. Dr. Wilson, you will have to close the window that you entered from to take out the noise.
I don't close the window.
Right.
She's saying close. I don't close. Okay.
Yeah.
How's that?
There you go. There you go. Bingo. You made it. I thank you all so very much for being patient. Thank you all so very much. I want to welcome everybody to the Myki Laughs Show. You might still have another window open there, Dr. Wilson. Look if you have anything else open. Let me see if it's me.
I'm here.
All right. Well, want to welcome you very wholeheartedly this afternoon. We're thanking you so very much for taking time out of your schedule to be with us. As I've said, guys, we have the pleasure of sitting with none other than Dr. Steve Wilson. He is the founder of World Laughter Tours. He's an author. He's a speaker. He is a joyologist. He loves to laugh. He has a lot of information. And without further ado, I'm just going to say, welcome, Dr. Wilson. It's just so great to have you in my presence this afternoon. Thank you so very, very much for coming. Thank you for being patient. Thank you so much that you love to laugh. I'm so excited that you're here.
Me too.
All right. Well, since we're off to a little bit of a late start, I'm just going to ask you to just quickly to give me a little background of yourself and maybe just kind of lead into what brought laughter to the fore for you.
I've been aware most of my life that I have the ability to remember jokes and tell them. And that happened from the time I was a little boy. And all through my life, there's been a thread of purpose in entertaining people, lifting spirits, helping people feel better. It's been my whole life that way. And but I didn't realize the significance of it until in 1984, when I was I've been a psychologist since 1973, 62 years, long time psychologist, and going to take training in psychology in what I call conventional psychological topics, personality, mental health, marriage and family, stress management, workplace issues. So I've been doing that. I had been doing that for many years. And then I got a invitation to come to a workshop in Chicago.
Okay.
This was 1984. And it said the topic would be putting humor to work at work, or the healing power of humor. And I never heard of such a thing. And I said to my wife, I said, Pam, we need to go there. We love Chicago. And let's go and humor, the healing power of humor, wonderful.
Right. Sounded like a lot of fun.
A weekend workshop, and we never saw Chicago because the workshop was so intensive. It was run by a man who has a doctorate of education. His name was Joel Goodman. And Joel was the founder of something in those days called the Humor Project. And it was just breaking onto the scene that there was some great value. There's beginning a little bit of science, a little bit of research about humor. And Joel was introducing us to it. And
very good.
I felt like the heavens opened up. And it was as if I was hearing a voice saying, Steve, I want you to do this.
Okay, then.
And I was called. And I started buying books and had a wonderful time at the workshop. And I realized I had a new topic that I needed to tell people about. And I came back to Ohio and I started reading and everything. There wasn't a whole lot in those days, but I wanted to immerse myself in everything I could find out about this topic.
About
the wonderful healing power of humor.
of laughter.
And that's what I
Very good.
started to do. I got a phone call from a woman who said, because I had been out speaking in Columbus, I'd been back at the PTA and church groups and businesses on the conventional psychological topics. And a woman called and she said she was with the Columbus Cancer Clinic. And she asked if I would come and speak to her support group for cancer patients and their friends and families.
Wow.
And I was taken back because my mother died of ovarian cancer when I was 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I, in those days, nobody, and here was a cancer clinic calling me right off the bat, right
Wow.
at the beginning. And in those days when my mother was sick, nobody said anything about attitude, emotion, certainly not about humor or laughter. It was just too bad. She's very sick and she's going to die.
Right.
And from the time she was diagnosed to the time she passed, it was just a few weeks. So all this came rushing back. And here's a woman saying, come to talk to cancer patients. And I knew in the 80s that there was some value. There could be something here.
Oh, yes.
And I said, okay, I'll be there. She said, come in October. And I went. It was a dark and stormy night. And I walked into the cancer clinic, and there were different support groups meeting.
Uh-huh.
And here's a woman. She's 85 years old. Her name was Scotty. She said,
Oh,
hi,
wow.
I'm Scotty. Are you Mr. Wilson? I said, yes. She says, okay, come and meet the group. And they got in a circle. They put their chairs in a circle.
Mm-hmm.
And she pointed over against the wall. She said, you sit over here. I'll sit next to you. Let's get going.
Let's get
And
going.
what they did was they introduced themselves and they went around the room.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, wait a minute. I've never talked to people about this topic. I believe in it, but these are people facing catastrophe in their life. Horrible illness. I know. And the first woman introduced herself. She said, my name is Susan. I had a brain tumor. It was operable. They took it out, and I'm getting chemotherapy. She was about 35 years old. I thought, and there's Susan's parents. And I started to feel very inadequate. I thought these people are facing tough stuff. And I've never tried to explain this to people.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going around the room, and there's a kid, Christopher, and he's 17, and he's got lymphoma, and his parents are there. And I'm saying, I'm issuing a summons to the universe. I'm saying they're going to come around to me. It's going to be my turn. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I want to say the right thing. I want to do the right thing. But I've never done this before, as much as I believe in it. And I hope this will work. I hope this will be okay. And as soon as I said that, it was like a prayer got answered, because a man in this part of the circle looked like he was in his mid-50s. And he says, my name is Lester, and I have cancer of the liver. And my doctor told me I had 6 months to live. And that was a year ago. And I gave away my winter coat, and everybody laughed.
Oh, yeah. So you were going around the room, and people were talking about these terrible ailments, but yet at the end of saying so, they were giving a laugh.
There was a lot of laughter. There was a lot of laughter.
Yes.
It just reinforced me. I said, this is good. And I made friends with some of the most important scientists. I just was very fortunate to run into really good people who helped me along the way. This is what to talk about. This is what to say. This is how to do it. That's how. So I got started in the therapeutic laughter, the healing power of humor, and all that. That's how it started.
All right. Well, Dr. Wilson, I have told my audience on countless occasions that when COVID struck and there was just so much gloom and darkness, I just kind of felt a little claustrophobic. I just felt as though the whole world was tumbling down on me. But I realized that when I thought of pleasant things and laughed, it made me feel so much better. And this is what kind of got me now onto this whole thing. And I'm trying to share with my audience that I'm not just laughing for the sake of jokes, but I'm just laughing to release tension and show people how laughter can actually have that effect on them. All right, now, so I guess this can segue right into World's Laughter Tours. Is this what brought World Laughter Tours about? Tell us a little about World Laughter Tours.
Well, I started in on learning about therapeutic laughter, meeting people, joining a couple of professional organizations so I could meet more people. I was meeting comedians and clowns and scientists and everybody together trying to understand what this tool was, this power that we had. How can we help people understand it? Because we are in North America, and maybe most of the world, but certainly in North America, we're in a culture that says that jokes and comedy is for children. It's silly. It's not important. What are you laughing at? Wipe that smile off your face. Get back to work. We're not here to have fun. All these kind of things. This is our culture was kind of negative about.
Oh yeah.
Humor.
Oh yeah.
3,000 or 4,000 years ago, in the Old Testament, in the book of Proverbs, it says a merry heart does good like a medicine.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yes.
That's in the Bible thousands of years ago. How did they know that? They didn't have microscopes. They didn't have laboratories. But they observed human nature. And it was fascinating. It was so I started studying this, and then in the mid.
All right, I'm not quite sure what happened there. Seems as though he has a little bit of a glitch, but I want to just seize the opportunity to thank everybody who has come. I absolutely welcome all of you. I see Monique's Reality. I see Trev Essence. I see Michelle. I see Doreen Humbe. I thank you all so very much for coming out. I'm not so sure what has happened. He seems to have frozen. I am just saying a prayer quietly. I'm going to laugh so hard that maybe it will shake. Whatever is making him glitch right there. Oh my goodness. We've come this far. Please,
I'm
Jesus.
back. Can you hear me
back.
now?
Good job. We can hear you now. Yes. And I thank you so much for being a good trooper.
Technology, it's not perfect yet. You
Right.
better notice. Anyway, I was invited. I had been speaking. I became a professional speaker. People wanted to hear about this topic. And starting in the 80s, I was invited 100 times a year to go around in the United States and teach about this. What is humor? What is laughter? Why do we do it? Why is it a good thing to do? How does it work? How can I'm not a funny, people would say, I can't tell jokes. How can I get the benefits of this? And I said, you can. There's lots of different ways. Anyway, I ended up being invited to go to India for a foundation that was teaching American business methods to businesses in India. And I was known as a business consultant. I was teaching teamwork and organizational behavior. I was fascinated by the idea that in the American workplace, people know about a thing called taking a mental health day. I said, you know what a mental health day is? That's a day you don't go to work.
Yes.
Now, that's okay. Maybe you need a balance because it's so stressful there. But I thought, as a psychologist, that I'm treating stress-related illnesses and things like that. And I'm saying, what if there were things that we could teach people that they could do at work so it would be good for their mental health to go to work instead of having to get it out of there because it's too stressful? That became part of my mission initially, and that got me invited to India to speak to business people there.
Oh, wow.
And that's when I found out about the laughter clubs in India.
Right.
And I met Dr. Kataria, and we went to a laughter club outside of Mumbai on the beach. It's called Juhu Beach on the Arabian Sea.
Right.
6 o'clock in the morning,
Uh-huh.
150 people out there,
Laughing.
and they want to laugh. But the cultural difference was striking because men and women did not integrate.
Oh,
Men were in a group, women were in a group.
I see.
That was their culture. And they laughed and they did the laughter exercise. I saw what happened, but it was not what would work in North America. It was not what would work in the Western world.
Right.
I thought I will have to adapt this because I know about activity therapy and recreation therapy. I was teaching about those things. I know about psychotherapy. I said, I see a way we could integrate all this. And
Very
bring
good.
It back,
Bring
bring
it
it
together.
back to the Western world. And that's became, I came back and that became the World Laughter Tour. And so
Here
we
you
now
go.
have the computer.
Uh-huh.
I was on the computer the third year of the internet.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been at this for a long time and came back and I said, now we have a way we can be in touch with people. The whole world can be in touch.
Oh, yes.
Because
yes.
of the computer.
Oh, yes.
And I can go to India and I can see what they're doing there and they can come
Right.
here. And we brought Dr. Kataria here. Pam and I brought him and his wife and we went all over. I went to 14 cities with him. We set up a lecture tour. We went all over the United States. And we tried it out. What are you doing? I want to know what he came up with. He wanted to know what I was doing. We exchanged ideas. We shared ideas. And the World Laughter Tour was born here. And it was to have a mission to lead the world to health, happiness, and peace, and do it with humor and laughter.
Very good.
It was remarkable because up to that point, people did not realize how important humor and laughter are. But they're not cures for everything. You can't cure cancer with laughter.
No, I don't think so.
But you can tolerate some tough situations better with the right
attitude. Oh, yes.
Humor and laughter really come from attitudes.
Oh, yes.
We say lighten up, don't tighten up.
Lighten up, guys, don't tighten up. I want to pause to say thank you all so very much for coming. I thank you so much for your patience. I want to welcome Vibes with the Thompson family. I want to welcome Toya's Kitchen. I welcome Jewel. I want to welcome, let's see who else is here. And if I don't say your name, I want to welcome you too. I thank you all so very much for coming. I welcome Abez Stalker Mom. I welcome Nisha James. All right, and I see Doreen Trevescens. I thank you all so much for coming. I thank you all for your patience. You know, I see Monique's Reality. I see Michelle Baban.
It's great that you see, I don't see that. I just want you to know on my side.
I see Tanya Johnson.
This is wonderful. Welcome, everybody. Welcome.
Right. And it's interesting that you said we are so tight and we're so serious. Like I said, when I was younger, I totally wanted to be an actress. And my mother said there are more serious things to do in life. And this is why she insisted that I go to teachers college. So kind of like it's really true. In society, we just see those more serious things as our life as serious. So that there's no
people think that's more important
for laughter.
Well, the cultural history is to think that laughter is not serious. Laughter is not important. But
there you go. There you go. It is. And it's interesting too, because I don't know, maybe from a while back, I had it in my head, because when I got done with my training at Nova, when I got done my thesis, my topic was the importance of laughter in the workplace. So I'm thinking maybe it's been a long time since I had this whole laughter thing in my head. And it is interesting that you were a psychologist and you were getting along and doing all the other things, talking about suicide maybe and stress and whatever else, but then you made this exciting switch.
Still, I had to change everything. I was so busy with speaking, and then I was writing articles, and then I was writing. But I had to close my practice. I stopped practicing psychotherapy and did practice humor, And
Oh my
laughter
goodness.
created the workshops to teach professionals, healthcare professionals and mental health professionals all need to know the importance of humor and laughter.
Right.
Social workers, activity therapists, nurses, doctors, they all come and take my classes. Thousands, 7,000 people have taken my course.
What would you say are some of the major benefits of laughter, Dr. Wilson?
Well, one thing, we can measure what happens in the body when a person laughs, when they're really amused. Not
Uh-huh.
fake, not faking, but really they're amused. Now we draw blood. I mean, so it's very interesting how the science is done. Overall, when we have a mirthful, amused laugh,
Mm-hmm.
it switches in our brain chemistry. It switches our nervous system to something called the parasympathetic nervous system.
The
And
parasympathetic nervous system, that's a big one for me.
it's as if a signal is sent all over your body to every system and organ to act healthy, to be healthy. Your immune system, your digestive system, your muscular system, your cardiovascular system. Every system gets healthy when that part of your body is activated, and it's activated in good humor. It's activated in amusement. It's actually activated by every pleasant emotion. You
Right.
see, I think that emotions are not positive and negative. I think they're pleasant and unpleasant.
Okay, then. That's a new little theory there. Yeah.
All
Not
feelings,
positive and negative,
all
but
emotions,
pleasant.
all emotions have value if you know what they're for.
Right.
If you know how to deal with them, express them, and manage them, then all feelings, but some of them are unpleasant.
Yes, for real.
Okay, so that became very important to understand. And if you can have an attitude of optimism, and you can cultivate that. So we teach this thing. We'll talk about it a little bit. Good-hearted living. How
Right.
do you have that attitude? But when you have to allow yourself to see the less serious side of a situation.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
So what I have understood from all of this is that all situations, pleasant or unpleasant, have many sides.
Oh, yes.
Anything that happens in life has multiple causes.
Oh, yes.
Very few things that happen to us have only one cause. It's
There,
usually several things happening at once.
oh, yes.
So multiple causes. So when anything happens, you can learn to look at all sides, look around a situation, look at the financial side of the situation, look at the health side of the situation, look at the family side, look at the spiritual side, look at the communities. Every situation has many sides. They're not all equally serious. Even when something unpleasant happens, it's got some aspects to it that may be not so serious. When you find those, you find the lighter side.
Oh, yes.
And that doesn't take away the unpleasant, but it gives balance.
It gives balance, right? And then
I'm going to tell you and everybody the secret to preventing burnout, the secret for managing stress, the secret.
Listen up, guys. This is important. The secret. He's going to bring us up to date with the secret
staying healthy,
stress and remaining healthy.
Is called balance.
Get that in your heads, guys. Balance.
If you get lopsided, if you get nothing's funny, everything's funny, you're out of balance.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
We have to have a balanced perspective. So one of the things that humor does, it creates what's called psychological distance. Okay. I'll show you how it works. Here's my hand. I'm going to let my hand represents a problem. Let's say this is a problem that I have, okay, symbolically. Now I'm looking at my problem. I'm worried about my problem. I get into my problem. It's consuming me. I am so close to my problem, so wrapped up in my problem, I can't see anything but my problem.
Oh yeah.
I can't see you. I can't see anything that might help me. I can't see anybody else. But when I have a joke, when I lighten up, when I find the lighter side, I see the distance
Oh yeah.
from my problem.
No problem. Yep.
Now I can see you.
Oh yeah.
Now I can see what other things that might help me, because the humor gives me psychological distance. Same problem, same hand, at a distance. Better balance, more manageable.
Uh-huh.
I like the picture. I saw a picture in the newspaper of a man, his car has been crushed by a tree during the storm. We're going to see these in New Orleans. We're going to see this in Louisiana today, and tomorrow and this week. So the man is standing next to his car, trees smashed down the roof of his car. He made a sign on a piece of cardboard. He's holding it up to the traffic going by, and the sign has an arrow pointing to his car, and the sign says, "Compact car." In the midst of all that,
he's laughing.
Find
something to laugh. Oh yes.
He made a little humor.
Oh
and
yes.
That changed his brain chemistry.
Changes
and that
the
helped because when you're under stress and pressure and tension, your body and your brain are putting out chemicals that are going to hurt you.
Oh yes.
They're not good for you. They're stress hormones.
That's what Dr. Laugh says. Not good for you.
And when you laugh, true mirthful laughter, the stress hormones, we now have the science. The stress hormones go down, the good chemicals come up, and you can stay healthier and deal with the situation better.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
It doesn't cure the situation. The joke, compact car, doesn't fix the car, but it gives him some energy so he can call the insurance company. So he can call the rental company, and he can deal with it.
Right. It's like they say, Dr. Wilson, laughter is like a windshield wiper. It doesn't stop the rain, but it keeps you going.
Yes, I like that. It's a good one.
Yes. All right. Now, here's something else I was going to ask you. I know now that other than, tell us a little bit about your preparing certified laughter leaders. I want to let you know that I'm in class with Dr. Wilson, so he's preparing me to be a certified laughter leader. So I want him to tell us a little bit about the class, what happens. Go ahead.
Well, I had been teaching in the community college here for many years, teaching mental health professionals skills, interviewing skills, all kinds of things. And so when I came on humor and laughter, I was able to know how to make a curriculum. I was able to know how to make a course to teach people how to use it and what they need to know about it. And that became the course. It's called How to Create Therapeutic Laughter. I knew there's such a thing as music therapy. I knew that there are times when music helps people lift a depression or cope or feel more energized. I knew there's recreation therapy. I knew there's all kinds of therapeutic techniques. And so I said, well, we can put humor and laughter into that category.
Sure.
And teach people. And when we teach them, they earn a certificate. And it's called Certified Laughter Leader. They've passed the course and they're ready to go, and they lead groups of people and individuals through a process so that other people can absorb what they need to know to lighten up and not tighten up.
To lighten up and not tighten up. Guys, all of us in this, especially in this time, all of us, we do need the laughter because we need to know that we need to lighten up and not tighten up.
and Pam and I came to a conclusion that one of the lessons of unpleasant things in life, see, there's always a lesson. even when the unpleasant things happen, if we can understand the lesson, it will be to our advantage in the future. Why
Oh,
do
yeah.
bad things happen to good people, for instance? So the lesson, there are many lessons. One of them that we liked particularly says, don't postpone joy.
Oh, no.
Mark Twain said, life is uncertain, so eat your dessert first.
I think that man's a man after my own heart.
Okay,
Eat
that's
the
right.
dessert first.
So life, we don't know what's coming. Don't save the best for last. You may not get there.
There you go.
Do
All
the
right.
good.
Now,
Go ahead.
Dr. Wilson, someplace in your work, I come across this phrase, good-hearted living, and I think it's significant for you. I wanted you to just touch on that a little for me.
Yes, I realize that it's very important. I encourage, and the science would encourage people to have more laughter and humor in their lives.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be a comedian to do that. Right now, I don't know if you could see, I'm wearing my Elvis shirt. Can you see that my shirt says Elvis?
Just seen it just now. Yep.
Anyway, Elvis, and it's a fun shirt. I don't have to tell the joke. If you look at my shirt, you might smile. Oh, I like that.
Oh, yeah.
So people can learn to do that.
You came with your hat. I saw your hat at the start.
That's right. This hat belongs to a special person. He's called my inner clown.
Oh, wow.
Inside me, I have a clown. I don't put on clown makeup, but I have a funny part of my personality that I love and I like, and I wear the hat to honor that part of my personality. So I said, it's not just laughing, it's attitudes. It's about cultivating attitudes. So I found 6 attitudes that I think, 6 practices that you can do where you will have more laughter in your life. You'll get along better with other people if you do these 6 things. And it will contribute to you being healthier mentally, physically, emotionally, and maybe even spiritually. And the 6 practices are called good-hearted living.
Okay.
And I use the term good-hearted 2 ways. One is emotionally good-hearted, symbolically. We're kind to each other. We're going to be caring about each other. That's good-hearted emotionally. But then a cardiologist at the University of Maryland, his name is Michael Miller, he did some very interesting studies about what happens to our heart and our blood vessels when we laugh.
Okay.
And when we're under stress, those blood vessels tighten up and it's hard to get blood to all over your body.
There you go. I'm telling you.
And when you laugh, the blood vessels open up and bring oxygen and blood and good chemicals all over your body. Dr. Miller did studies. So it's good for your heart in terms of your cardiac functioning.
Oh, yes.
And Dr. Fry, Bill Fry, was a friend of mine. He passed away a few years ago, but a great scientist and contributor on the topic, a psychiatrist at Stanford University, and he and I became good friends. And he did the first work about humor and laughter and people with heart attacks. And he said that true mirthful laughter actually comes with a sparing effect for the cardiac patient. If the cardiac patient is really amused, it doesn't have to be big, loud. Like it could be a little chuckle. It could be a little bit. That's not going to hurt the cardiac patient.
No.
I was amazed, and I've had the privilege of associating with people like that for many years. And so good-hearted living has 6 practices. Would you like to know what they are?
Would you like to know what they are, guys? I think you should tell us 6 practices of good-hearted living, because that's what I'm trying to say to you guys.
And you can get a list. You can get these from my website, worldlaughtertour.com. If you go there and look for good-hearted living, and you not only will find it in English, but Myki, I've had it translated into 30 or 40 different languages for the whole world, and it's free. We give it
worldlaughtertour.com.
Correct.
Correct. All right. See, I've shared it to the
And
chat. The website is to the chat so that
and
you
you
can
get
get your copy of
Good-Hearted Living.
Good Hearted Living, because everybody
And,
needs to understand how to live
and
well
download it.
and laugh.
Yes, download it into your computer, and it's there in French and Spanish, and it's there in Hebrew and Swahili. It's there in Korean and Japanese and
Oh, wow.
Hindi. Every language, the whole world can use this, and we're giving it away for free. Let's make the world a better place by Good-Hearted Living. There's
Well,
6
that's amazing.
practices. I'll tell you what they are. And if you want to get started, if you like this path for good attitudes and health and happiness and peace, then to get started, on Mondays, just practice the first practice, which is to pay compliments. Pay compliments. Look for the good in life. Don't look for what's bad. Don't be a critic and a judge. Don't be judgmental. Look for good things. Say something. Lift people's spirits. A kind word. Myki, a kind word often goes unspoken, but never goes unheard.
I'm telling you, say that again.
A kind word often goes unspoken, but never goes unheard.
Yep.
Pay compliments. Second practice.
Oh, yeah.
Try it on Tuesdays, maybe 3 times, just to get started. It's not. This will become a habit because it's so much fun to do. The second practice is called flexibility. Flexibility means, can you go with the flow? When you're coming on to Myki Laughs and you're using this technology and you can't get connected and it's not working the way you thought it was going to work, can you keep going? Can you be flexible? Can you find another way? Don't get discouraged. Don't get down. And because the tree, this is an Asian proverb, the tree that bends in the wind does not break.
Wow.
We have to be trees that bend in the wind. We have to go with the flow. If you're rigid, you'll snap, you'll crack, you'll break.
Yeah.
But if you can be flexible, you'll figure out another way. You'll try it.
Oh, yeah. And the laughter does keep you flexible.
That is a good way to do that. The third practice is gratitude. Be grateful. Be thankful. Happiness, it's been said for thousands of years. Happiness doesn't come from having what you want. It comes from wanting what you have. Be grateful. Say thank you to people who help you. You should never, one of my great teachers taught me this, never stop saying thank you to the people who have helped you along the way. Call them up, send them a text. It could be 10, 20, 30 years ago. Say thank you. I remember you. You helped me. Be grateful, a grateful heart. That's the third practice. The fourth practice is kindness.
Kindness.
Being kind. Practice kindness. Our definition for good-hearted living and World Laughter Tour, kindness is helping another person's life be a little bit easier right now. Now,
Right.
there's lots of definitions. There's other ways to be kind. But you can see somebody struggling to carry a package, carry it for you, hold
Right.
the door open.
Hold the door
I mean,
open.
it can be
It's simple
small
as that.
things. Kindness can be in small ways. So kindness is the third, is the fourth practice. The fourth practice.
Okay.
The fifth practice
Uh-huh.
in good-hearted living is forgiveness.
Oh, that's a big one.
And so we just say you get started on Fridays because forgiveness is the opposite of holding on to anger and resentment. It tears you up. You're mad, and it's understandable. People hurt you, people mistreated you, people did you wrong. You want to get even. You're just so mad. But all of that anger is inside of your skin.
Oh, yes.
and it is tearing you up, and it is creating ulcers in your stomach and backaches and neck pains, and you can't sleep, you know.
Oh
So
yes, they
so
say forgive.
forgiveness, the way we talk about it, forgiveness is not being so angry. You
Right.
see that the other person was a jerk. I don't know. Maybe you realize something about the other person and you say, I can't, I'm only hurting myself. Somebody said
Yeah.
that carrying a grudge is like taking poison
And
and hoping
expecting the
that
other
your enemy
person
is
to
going to
die.
die.
Uh-huh.
You know,
I've heard that before.
don't hurt yourself.
Yeah.
And then the sixth practice for good-hearted living is 2 days. It's for the whole weekend. It's so important that I assign 2 days. And we call the sixth practice chocolate.
Oh, wow. I love the six. I think I prefer that one out of.
And chocolate is, we just use the word chocolate because it's fun to use, but it's symbolic, Mikey, of
Oh my
sweetness.
goodness. I like the chocolate
You
one.
must cultivate ways to put sweetness into your life.
Oh, yes.
You're entitled, you deserve it, and you should plan it. Don't hope that it happens, that something good happens by accident. What do you like to do that's sweet? Make a list. I like to take a hot bath. I like a cup of tea. I like to read a book. I like to wash the car. I walk the dog. I play with the kids. I go to the gym. So many things are fun and good for you, sweet.
Oh,
Be
yes.
sure you spend plenty of time. Now, all of that is outlined in a very simple way in
Okay.
dozens of different languages. It's called Good-Hearted Living.
Living. All right. And he's
Six
saying that it's
practices.
available.
It prevents hardening of the attitudes.
Oh my
And
goodness.
it's free. And it's free. And anybody who will find it, if they can write me an email if you have any questions or you want to talk about it. And I have Facebook page, you know, World Laughter Tour has a Facebook page. Steve Wilson has a Facebook page. It's wonderful.
All right.
And
No,
I am so happy that you are studying with me because you, first of all, you're what I call a natural.
oh, I thank you so very much.
You
I thank
have
you.
this in your personality, your genes, the luck. I don't know how it happens. Some people, and you are already sharing the knowledge and the wisdom about this
Oh,
with
yes.
Myki Laughs
Oh,
and the
yeah.
other things you're doing. And I
Thank you
can't wait
so much.
because I'm getting on in years. You know, I'm 80 years old.
Oh, wow. Oh,
But
my goodness.
I looked it up, and
Uh-huh.
80 is only 26.6 Celsius. That's fine. So I converted, so I'm younger in Celsius. But you are coming on board, and you're going to be the future. You
I
are
thank you so
advancing
much.
these wonderful ideas. For years, we didn't have the science. We didn't have the real good, rational, sensible ideas about humor. Now we have it. And I'm so happy to know you and be your friend. And you and I are doing good together. And I invite everybody who's watching this, do good with us. Do
I
good
thank you
with
so
us
much.
with
I thank
humor
you
and
so much.
laughter. Learn
Thank
about
you
it,
so much.
share it, and
All
don't
right.
criticize people who don't laugh. They may not have your sense of humor.
That's true.
We call
Or
it different.
they might just be too tight. They might just need at a
They
coming
may
time
be
they
too
might
worried.
just
You
lighten
know,
up.
you
Yeah.
worries and upset, fear, terrible things can happen, and maybe there isn't room for laughter at that moment. That's okay.
Right.
Life is like that, but it comes back, and what we do helps it come back better.
Oh, yes.
But we need to cry. We need to laugh. We need to do both. If it's time to cry, cry.
Oh,
If it's
yeah.
time to laugh, laugh.
Laugh.
Do both. It's an expression of emotions. It discharges tension. It
Oh, yes.
reduces stress.
Reduce stress.
More likely that you're going to stay healthier and happier and get along better with other people.
With people. Oh, yes. Certainly does make you get along better
About
with people.
compassion. You see, what we're
It's true.
talking about, Mikey, you know, is love
Oh, yeah.
and compassion and caring. and being reasonable and kind to people and lift them up. Don't put them down.
Lift them up.
Humor can hurt. Jokes can be terrible. Jokes
Oh
can
yes,
hurt
because if
people's
you're
feelings.
laughed at, that's not nice.
And we don't do that.
We
That's
don't
not
do
what we're looking for. We're looking for the laughter, the humor that connects us, so we know we're all people. We really are much more alike than different. Most of the differences are on the outside. You know that.
Oh yes.
Inside, we're very much alike.
Oh my goodness. I thank you so much. I thank you so much. This has been so refreshing. Time flies when we're having fun. We have exceeded the hour. I want to ask the chat if there's anything that you want to ask Dr. Wilson as he's still here. I'm sure he'd be willing to answer, though you have access to his website. It's worldlaughtertours.com. And I shared it.
No S. There's no S.
World
Tour.
Laughter Tour. Right. Nice. Worldlaughtertour.com. I've shared it in the chat, so you could go there and remember that the good-hearted living booklet is there for the taking. It doesn't matter which language you speak. Chances are the language that you speak, there's a translation for it. So go on ahead, take access of it, and yeah. Let's live good, guys. Let's laugh, because let me tell you something. Tomorrow's promised to no man. Let's just live happily. Release the tension. Live good with your neighbor. Go to all the is it 7 principles?
6.
6 principles. Go to the 6 principles. Oh, okay. There's the culmination of the chocolate one. It takes up 2. So the whole weekend is for the chocolates. But and it doesn't have to be literally sweets, but just doing something sweet for yourself. Pamper yourself and feel good about yourself. Oh my goodness. I
believe if you do these 6 things, you will be laughing more.
Oh yes. So the idea behind
will lighten up.
The idea behind getting that good-hearted living booklet, whatever that is, that's available for you on the site, is definitely to keep you in a good mood, get you maybe laughing more. And everybody could do with some laughter. Because here's what Dr. Wilson is saying: laughter is great medicine, and one laugh at a time, we're aiming to change the world.
You know what we say, Mikey? We don't laugh necessarily because we feel good, but we feel good because we laugh.
Because we laugh, and that's true. Yep. We don't necessarily laugh because we feel good, but certainly. No, when I laugh, I really feel really very good. Oh my goodness. I truly want to thank you so very much for coming out and share with us. It's such a wonderful pleasure to have you. Maybe out of this experience, you might have 1 or 2 more people wanting to look at becoming certified laughter leaders. You never know.
Yes,
I'm certainly.
The course is online. You do it at home. We send all the materials anybody needs. We do classes on Zoom.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Anybody can join. Take the class.
Right. All right, guys, we thank you so very much for coming. I hope you managed to mix and mingle, and hope you are liking it yourselves and you are liking each other and you're being nice to each other. We thank Dr. Wilson so much for coming out and sharing with us, and we look forward to having him again. And the door is always open, Dr. Wilson, whenever you want to come back. Maybe one of these days you could do a nice little rousing laughter session for them to see how we do it.
Absolutely. Maybe I can come back in April. April is National Humor Month.
Okay.
A whole month we celebrate humor.
Oh my goodness. We can't have too much of it, I'm telling you. Well, thank you so much, Tyrone. I hope you all learned something this afternoon. And remember that worldlaughtertour.com is always available to you, and your copy of Good Hearted Living is there for you as well. I thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for being here. And I am going to close the show. I thank you all so much for coming. Thank you so much, Dr. Wilson. It was really so much pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
And I'm glad we ironed out the hiccup and everything just went well. Say hi to Pam.
You can count on it. I will.
All righty. You have a nice day now. All right, guys. Well, I thank you all so very, very much for coming. I thank you all so very much for coming. I thank you for being a wonderful audience. I thank you so much for not freaking out when we had a little bit of technical difficulty at the start. We just thank you so, so very much. And I will give you an update as to when we have another guest. But in the meantime, thank you, Monique. Thank you all so very much. I thank you for being a wonderful audience. I can't tell you how you warmed my heart this afternoon. Thank you so very much for coming. Go to World Laughter Tours. Get yourself a copy of The Good-Hearted Living. Guys, these are tumultuous times. We need to laugh and we need to have things to make us really do feel good. Thank you so much for coming. Mwah. It's Myki, and I'm tuning out of the Myki Laughs Show for today. It was my absolute pleasure. Thank you so very much for coming.